Coming up on Look Today, well, a time capsule that was placed inside a Saratoga bank in 1916 has been opened. I've got details. And the Glens Falls Collaborative Take a Bite event kicks off tonight. More on that coming up. Plus, Iron Chef at Sushi Yoshi raises money for the Lake George Association. I've got details on that, and it's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Tonight's program, I sit down with Jim Schreiner. He's an instructor and board member for the Adirondack Folk School, and we're joined by Scott Hayden. He's the new executive director for the school, and they're here to discuss courses in arts, craft, woodworking, you name it, offered by the school. And I also sit down with Kim Cook. She's a director of the Open Door Mission, and she's here to talk about the new resource center and how you can get involved to help. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, a time capsule that was placed inside the wall, the building of a Saratoga bank in 1916 has been opened. The time capsule was put inside the corner of the wall of the Adirondack Trust Company at the time of its construction. Well, after 100 years, the copper box has been opened, revealing newspaper articles, a 10-cent bill, brochures, and a letter from the bank's founder, Edgar Brackett. Well, we spoke to Charles Waite Jr. He's the executive vice president of the Adirondack Trust Company.
We found some coins from the Civil War, and one of them was quite interesting because it said on one side it had a picture of the American flag, and on the other side it said, if anyone takes us down, shoot them on the spot. And that was legal tender. So it was a different age, and people felt very strongly about the flag. We found an original charter of the village of Saratoga Springs, dated about 1857. We found an old newspaper dated about 1840, so we're having those things scanned so they're made permanent, and then we'll reveal the contents of what the newspaper said. There are a couple of papers from 1916. There was some paper currency in there. None of great monetary value, but certainly of interesting value to people who like the history of Saratoga Springs.
Let's go in, Charles. Well, following the event, new items were placed inside a new time capsule to be opened in another 100 years' time. Well, the new items included a visitor's guide, Saratoga National Historic coins, and a new letter addressing Saratogians of the future. Well, we spoke to Mayor Joanne Yepsen about this.
Clearly, anytime you have an old newspaper, it's going to tell you a lot about what was happening here then. I'm interested in seeing the village charter that they uncovered to see what that was all about, given we're now looking at our city charter again for a revision and an update.
I don't know about you, but I find that pretty exciting. Switching from news to weather. Well, after a day of heavy thunderstorms and rain, you could say a lot of rain, today's skies cleared. We had plenty of sunshine. So let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. And back to the news. Well, the Take a Bite event hosted by the Glens Falls Collaborative will kick off tonight in downtown Glens Falls. Now, the event is a summer-long series of festivals held every Wednesday throughout the summer. Local downtown restaurants will sell $5 dishes and provide samples. Local musicians will perform at venues, and nonprofit organizations will have information booths. Well, the Glens Falls Collaborative will host the event. We spoke to Rich Serino. He's the president of the Collaborative.
It's a food-focused event. It's here in downtown, and it's to showcase the wonderful selection of restaurants we have. Within a 5-minute walk from where I'm standing, you have over 20 excellent restaurants to eat at here in downtown Glens Falls.
By the way, that food co-op, which is the Collaborative, is a killer food co-op. You got to check it out. Samantha's Cafe and Catering has been a staple participant in the event. And this year, they have a new location right in the heart of downtown Glens Falls, right on Glen Street. Well, we spoke to Elizabeth Flack. She's the cafe manager for Samantha's Cafe.
So Take a Bite's a family-friendly downtown organization that a lot of restaurants get involved in to help the community try out our food.
You got to check this out. It will be every Wednesday night throughout the summer. In other news, Sushi Yoshi in Lake George hosted the Iron Chef competition last night. Well, restaurants from all over the area competed in a 30-minute hibachi-style cooking challenge. 10 teams competed and were able to cook whatever they wanted. However, they had to use 2 specific ingredients. Check these out: Deep Eddy's lemon vodka and Druthers Gose, which is a German-style ale brewed with coriander and a small amount of salt. At least I can say the word salt. Burning Desires Catering got first place, while King Neptune's took second place. Around $2,000 was raised, and the proceeds will go to the Lake George Association. Congratulations. Well, up next, I sit down with Jim Schreiner. He's an instructor and board member for the Adirondack Folk School. We're joined by Scott Hayden. He's the new executive director for the school. They're here to discuss courses in arts, craft, and woodworking. Plus, I sit down with Kim Cook. She's the director of the Open Door Mission in Glens Falls. She's here to talk about the new resource center and how you can get involved to help. But first, if you've seen who's happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. Well, I've got a couple of lookouts tonight, and the first one has to go to the Adirondack Folk School. That interview I did with Jim and Scott today was just amazing. You couldn't see they brought so many of the things that they have created at the school here for the interview. And of course, we don't have the cameras and stuff to be able to show you the detail on a lot of that. But I think the overriding thing there is that here's this wonderful model of a school, a folk school, where, like I want to learn how to make a birdhouse. Some of you might not find that too unusual. If you want, whatever you want to do, pottery or music or whatever, check the Adirondack Folk School out, because it's just a really great resource in our community for you to go experiment, meet other people, and create something that's indigenous to the Adirondacks. And the second lookout goes to Rich and Margot Serino. They're involved with Take a Bite, this initiative that's going to be going on Wednesday nights all summer long in Glens Falls. I first met them probably better part of a dozen years ago. They've always been involved in downtown Glens Falls. They've always been involved as entrepreneurs, and the food co-op and collaborative and this Take a Bite initiative just follows very closely with their passion for wanting to promote downtown Glens Falls. So take a Wednesday and go up there, sample some of the food, see some of the people on the sidewalks, hear some of the music. It's always a great time. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's a Saratoga City Council meeting. It's a new one. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.